This is what we call a DC drive motor. The DC drive motor has a positive and a negative terminal that plug into the lower board. The red one is positive, the black one is negative. And you're putting DC voltage into these wires right here, and that's what's causing the motor to turn. We want to unplug our motor wires. So these are motor plus and motor minus. So now we're going to put our meter on DC volts again, which is where it's at. Remember, the DC volt symbol is a solid line with 3 dots underneath it. And we're going to take our meter leads, we're going to plug them into the motor wires. So right now we're hooked up to the motor wires with our meter on DC volts, and if we move the belt, now we're generating voltage. So we basically turned the drive motor into a generator. The faster you go, the higher the voltage. Okay, there is another way of checking the drive motor if you don't have a DC multimeter. So with it open, with the wires not touching each other, it's easy to move. But when you touch these two together, it gets a little bit harder to move the motor. So now the motor should be hard to move. It's very difficult to move. Because I'm going to pull these wires off, and immediately it gets easier. So when you short these two together, it's creating resistance on the motor. And that's a way of knowing whether or not your brushes are good or not. Because if you short these two together and then it's still easy to move, then you know that you've got a motor brush that's not making contact inside the motor.